welcome to Daily Dictation. This is a video that's an interactive activity to help you practice your English skills. You are going to practice your writing skills and your listening skills. I will read 5 sentences about the topic of crime at a low intermediate level. You will write down each sentence as perfectly as you can using your listening skills and using your ability to spell and use proper grammar when you write. After I read these 5 sentences, I will show you exactly what they look like, and you can double check to see if your spelling and grammar were correct. I will then explain the grammar and give you any spelling tips and tricks that will help you improve your skills. Let's get started. This skill is best developed if you practice every day, so join me for daily dictation from Monday to Friday. There are new sentences each weekday, new topics each week, and 2 English levels offered. The instructions. You will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. 5 sentences will be read. Each sentence will be read 3 times and 1 more time at the end. You have to write down each sentence exactly as you hear it. You will use your listening skills to do this. Try your best to apply the correct spelling, punctuation, and capitalization. So you're going to see numbers 1 to 5 on the screen. Each number represents a different sentence that I will read. I'll read each sentence 3 times and 1 more time at the end, starting with sentence number 1. Number 1. The police arrested the thief after the crime. The police arrested the thief after the crime. The police arrested the thief after the crime. Number 2. The suspect broke the law and went to jail. The suspect broke the law and went to jail. The suspect broke the law and went to jail. Number 3. The judge gave the thief a fine. The judge gave the thief a fine. The judge gave the thief a fine. Number 4. The police enforce the law to prevent crime. The police enforce the law to prevent crime. The police enforce the law to prevent crime. Number 5. The suspect tried to steal but was arrested. The suspect tried to steal but was arrested. The suspect tried to steal but was arrested. I'll read each sentence 1 more time, starting with sentence 1. The police arrested the thief after the crime. Number 2. The suspect broke the law and went to jail. Number 3. The judge gave the thief a fine. Number 4. The police enforce the law to prevent crime. Number 5. The suspect tried to steal but was arrested. All right, let's have a look at what our sentences should appear like. If you found that this video was a little bit too fast, I recommend you listen again. When you listen again, you can adjust the playback speed to make it go slower. If you need to listen to specific sentence numbers again, just check the description for timestamps. We're going to start with sentence number 1. Sentence number 1, the police arrested the thief after the crime. So here, if we're breaking down the sentence, the police is the subject, arrested is the verb and is in simple past, and the thief is the object. Then we have another clause that tells us a little bit about the time that this happened. We use a time word after, and then an event, the crime, which is a noun. Some difficult spelling that would be here is arrested, thief, and even police could be difficult. Police is difficult because sometimes we forget that there is a CE here, and sometimes we put S, for example. If you made that mistake, just remember that it is a CE and that C makes an S sound. Another thing that could have been forgotten is a double consonant in arrested. You can split it up, rest, and then ed for the verb form. Finally, a really difficult word could be thief because we sometimes forget the order of the vowels here. We have a saying in English, I before E except after C. So that means in almost every word in English, when there is an I and an E together, almost always the I will come first and the E will come second. But the exception is when there is C first, and then it's usually E first and then I. Let's have a look at sentence number 2. The suspect broke the law and went to jail. For this, the suspect is the object or the subject. Broke is the main verb. This is an irregular verb, so it's in simple past, but it doesn't have ed. Broke is the form of the past for this verb. The law is the object. And then we have a conjunction here, went to jail. So went is another verb after the conjunction. To is a preposition here. And jail is our noun. And so this provides more information about what happened to the suspect after the suspect broke the law. Now, overall, the spelling should be okay. Maybe suspect was a little bit too hard. If this one was difficult, suspect. Sometimes you forget the C. If you're not listening carefully, you could only hear the T, or sometimes you wouldn't hear the T and you'd only hear the C. It's hard to identify both of the consonants at the end. So you can split it up into 2, sus and then pecked. Number 3, the judge gave the thief a fine. The judge is the subject. Gave is the verb, and this is another irregular verb. It's in the simple past form, but it's spelled like this. The thief is the object of the sentence. Again, we have the same spelling rule as up here, I before E. So we have I first and then E. And then a fine is what the thief is given, so just this noun to provide more context. A difficult word over here can be judge because you can't hear the D very clearly. So you really want to focus on that and practice rewriting it a few times so it stays in your mind because that is a really difficult word. And also the GE at the end makes a J sound, which could be even more difficult. Number 4, the police enforce the law to prevent crime. So we have the police. That's the subject again, the same as up here. We're going to have the same spelling to keep in mind. It is CE. Enforce is our verb, and we can see here we're in the simple present because it's a general truth or it's a general fact of life. That's what the police are supposed to do again and again. It's the expectation in society. So it's in simple present tense. The law is the object of the sentence, but then we have more information. So we have this preposition um, to prevent, actually not a preposition. This is in an infinitive. And then the noun after that, crime. So the infinitive is used after this main verb. Because we already have a main verb here, we're going to use the infinitive form because we don't have any other conjunctions in the middle to separate any clauses. So this is all part of the same thing. And so we need an infinitive afterwards. Um, the spelling prevent, you can just split it up like this if that helps you. Overall, you should be able to hopefully sound this word out. And then we have this noun at the end. Let's look at our final sentence. The suspect tried to steal but was arrested. So the suspect is the subject. Then we have tried, which is our main verb. And because, again, we have a main verb already and everything is together, we do need an infinitive, just like up here. So we'll put here for main verb and then here for the infinitive. And then we have another clause coming, starting with a conjunction. But was arrested here. And so this is a past participle of a word, but it's kind of acting like an adjective because it comes after the form of be here. Um, and tried is hard to spell because we're actually removing the Y. The base form is try. But when you add an ED or an ES on the end, you can't have a Y here. You have to actually remove the Y and add the I instead. And it's like this for almost every Y word that we will change the ending because the word change or the word form will change. Whether it's a noun that ends in Y and you're going to make it plural, or it's a verb and you're going to add the S for the third person singular rule or anything like that. Suspect, suspect, just like up here, you can split it in two, and arrested, just like up here, you can split it up. Steal is another hard word because we do have a word in English, steal, and that's another word, and this refers to the material, and this refers to the action of taking something that is not yours. So that is a bit of a breakdown of some of the sentence structures that we see, a little bit of advice on how to split up words to remember the letter order to make sure you're spelling correctly. Now you can see there are bold words. These are key vocabulary words related to this topic that you should know. I'll give you a better list of these words. We have crime, thief, steal, police, jail, fine, law, judge, suspect, arrest. So these are key words related to the topic of crime. Make sure you know how to use them in your own written or verbal sentences and communication, because sometimes this could come up in a proficiency exam, and it's good to have this kind of vocabulary to be able to discuss this topic. Besides that, we are all finished for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.